Good Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this hump day. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Dr. Savio Beers, the president of the American Academy of Pediatrics, discussing a national state of emergency for children's mental health. Enjoy today's program. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. In national news, Navy probe finds major failures in fire that destroyed ship. A Navy report has concluded there were sweeping failures by commanders, crew members, and others that fueled the July 2020 arson fire that destroyed the USS Bonhomme Richard, causing the massive 5-day blaze in San Diego preventable and unacceptable. While one sailor has been charged with setting the fire, the more than 400-page report obtained by the Associated Press listed 36 officers and sailors whose failings either directly led to the ship's loss or contributed to it. The findings detailed widespread lapses in training, coordination, communication, fire preparedness, equipment maintenance, and overall command and control. Although the fire was started by an act of arson, the ship was lost due to an inability to extinguish the fire, the report said, concluding that repeated failures by an inadequately prepared crew delivered an ineffectual fire response. It slammed commanders of the amphibious assault ship for poor oversight and said the main firefighting foam system wasn't used because it hadn't been maintained properly and the crew didn't know how to use it. In more national news, the Associated Press looks at COVID-19 and pregnancy. Women regret not getting the vaccine. Sometimes when she's feeding her infant daughter, Amanda Harrison is overcome with emotion and has had to wipe away tears of gratitude. She is fortunate to be here holding her baby. Harrison was 29 weeks pregnant and unvaccinated when she got sick with COVID-19 in August. Her symptoms were mild at first, but she suddenly felt like she couldn't breathe. Living in Alabama, she was intubated and flown to a hospital in Birmingham where doctors delivered baby Lake 2 months early and put Harrison on life support. Now Harrison is sharing her story in an attempt to persuade pregnant women to get COVID-19 vaccinations to protect themselves and their baby. Warnings like hers come amid a sharp increase in the number of severely ill pregnant women that led to 22 pregnant women dying from COVID in August, a 1-month record. Since the pandemic began, health officials have reported more than 125,000 cases and at least 161 deaths of pregnant women from COVID-19 in the U.S., according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And over the past several months, hospitals and doctors in virus hotspots have reported a sharp increase in the number of severely ill pregnant women. With just 31% of pregnant women nationwide vaccinated, the CDC issued an emergency advisory on September the 29th, recommending that they get the shots. The agency cautioned that COVID-19 in pregnancy can cause preterm birth and other adverse outcomes, and that stillbirths have been reported. In more national news, U.S. expected to authorize mix and match COVID booster shot. Federal regulators are expected to authorize the mixing and matching of COVID-19 booster doses this week in an effort to provide flexibility as the campaign for extra shots expands. The upcoming announcement by the Food and Drug Administration is likely to come along with authorization for boosters of the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson shots and follows the okay for a third dose for the Pfizer vaccine for many Americans last month. The move was previewed Tuesday by a U.S. health official familiar with the matter who is not authorized to speak publicly ahead of the official announcement. The FDA was expected to say that using the same brand for a booster was still preferable, especially for the RNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna that have proved more effective against the coronavirus. The agency was still finalizing guidance for the single-shot J&J vaccine. In entertainment news, rapper formerly known as Kanye West is now just Ye. Kanye is now Ye. A Los Angeles judge on Monday approved the request of the rapper, producer, and fashion designer to legally change his name from Kanye West to just Ye with no middle or last name. And finally, in more entertainment news, Jamie Foxx shares parenting lessons and stories in new book. While traveling with his family during the filming of the 2012 movie Django Unchained, Jamie Foxx allowed his then 18-year-old daughter, Corinne, to share a room with her boyfriend. He was proud of his decision, feeling evolved and cool, and anointed himself new dad for handling the situation with a level head. New dad became self-doubt dad at 4 a.m. when he lay awake questioning his decision. Fox decided he needed to barge into the room to see what was happening, with no plan on what to do next. I knock and open the door, and my heart sinks because the kid, is on top of the covers, fully clothed, and my daughter fast asleep under the covers, and I said, "Aw, man." Jamie Foxx shares that parenting misstep in his new book, Act Like You Got Some Sense, and Other Things My Daughters Taught Me, from Grand Central Publishing. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Feel comfortable with yourself. Become bold as you express your ideas today. You will feel more comfortable with yourself as you become assertive. If you have been harboring an idea, this may be your day to solidify the details. Nurturing your confidence gives yourself courage to share your ideas with others. Being confidently daring and bold as you approach other people will give you the courage you need to succeed. Guidance from trusted friends reinforces your self-confidence. As you feel more comfortable with yourself, you realize your full potential by passing ideas back and forth with those who are knowledgeable and can clarify your plans. Today, feel comfortable with yourself as you go forward to achieve your life purpose. And as always, enjoy the day.
We have part of my conversation coming up with Dr. Savio Beers in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Dr. Savio Beers, the president of the American Academy of Pediatrics, joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the national state of emergency for children's mental health. Here's a bit of our conversation. Talk to us more about the declaration of the state of emergency. Why was this something that was needed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as pediatricians, as child and adolescent psychiatrists, as children's hospitals, we really feel like this crisis is at a tipping point. In our office, in our clinics, in our hospitals, we're just seeing huge increases in numbers of youth who are really struggling with their mental health. And we're also seeing that they're having a great deal of difficulty accessing care because we just don't have all the things that we need for our young people. And so we felt like, with the nature of mental health conditions, if you don't treat them early, if you don't attend to them early, they really can go on to have lifelong impacts. And so we felt it was really important to raise the alarm now so that we can make sure that we can all come together, reverse the trends that we're seeing, make sure that our young people have the support and the resources that they need so that they can thrive into their adulthood.
So, when we talk about mental health, a lot of times, Dr. Beers, unfortunately, we don't normally think about children, but is all of this mental illness among children stemming from the pandemic, or are there other causes that are contributing to it?
Yeah, in fact, we were very concerned about children's mental health even prior to the pandemic. You mentioned that suicide is the second leading cause of death in young people. That was the case even before the pandemic. And so we had increasing rates of concern even prior to 2020, but the pandemic has really worsened the challenges. You had mentioned isolation, but also over 140,000 youth have lost a caregiver to COVID in the United States. There's been disruptions to activities and things in your routine. So there's been many reasons for young people to really be struggling.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. Prepare to guest on tomorrow's more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.